015 is 2015. It is, right, so I got V Entertainment, which was like my mainstream like break in 2014. But my career really took off in 2015. That's when I bought like my first real big car. That's when I had my first song rotate like crazy on radio. It was just a very, very monumental time for me as an entertainer, a time that I worked hard for so long, and I finally started seeing everything come to life. And I mean, if you listen to the song, it speaks about Doc Shebeleza on the Jeep. This was on Doc Shebeleza, was one of the hardest songs, and I was dancing on a Jeep in Durban in the parking lot after a club party. It talks about Jameson, dance. Like Jameson used to be my favorite drink. I used to dance, always got my way at first glance. Like it really just means like I always used to get my way at first glance. Like being the hardest artist or being like, it's like center of attention wherever you go. Like you get your way first, whether it be with a girl, whether it be when you go to a clothing label and you're like, yo, can I wear your clothes? Can you guys sponsor me? So it's again double meaning. Always got my way at first glance. Back when I was on a doobie, like I used to smoke weed, so that was like one of my biggest things. So the song really just explains everything I used to love, as well as kind of grew out of in 2015, and that's why the song is called 015. I couldn't give it like a deeper name. I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to just like wrap it all up in like 1 year. And I think it was one of the most important years for me as a creative, because I've worked my whole life to experience all of that. Your music video playing on TV, your song playing on radio like crazy, you being on a bigger show, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it was a very important year for me, and I felt like I wanted to express it so I can move on to like new things. Because part of me missed the city lights, all the crazy nights. It really, sometimes I do, I'm like, I want to go drink, but I don't drink. I haven't drank for a year. So sometimes I'm like, oh damn, like, okay, more than a year now. Yeah, sometimes I miss like the crazy nights. Sometimes I miss being in a club. Sometimes I miss being like the young Shelton that didn't care. And then immediately it snaps back in and be like, oh yeah, you're turning 30 this year, brother. And you have to you have businesses now to run. And you have like the 30-year-old Shelton to live up to now. You can't be 25 no more in the club on a couch or dancing on a Jeep in the parking lot in Durban. So yeah, that's what the song is. It's not an area code, y'all. It's not an area code. I wanted it to still sound cool. You know, like all the things I talk about, it's like things that really used to be, like for example, the marijuana situation. I battled with it so much, like letting go of the addiction. And anybody that says weed is not addictive, punch in the throat, because it is really bad. And if you become addicted to it, it can ripple off into a lot of other negative stuff. So I personally feel like that is something that I escaped, and I can now proudly be like, oh yeah, I used to smoke, but this is what it did for me, and this is what it didn't do for me. And so yeah, like I still wanted the things to sound cool, like all the things that I went through. I still want, even second verse, I wouldn't say I would kill to go back. I just wish we could stay forever young. So it's like, I don't want to go back but I want to still at heart be young and stay hungry and passionate, you know? So yeah, it's like you said, it's personal, but I wanted to still sound cool because the beat is hard. The music video, I initially wanted like a vampire vibe. That didn't work out. And then I kind of wanted to have a party. That didn't work out. And then I was like, how do I break down all these elements of the music video, or that I speak of in human form? So let me have a pretty girl in the video. Let me have like an abstract character. Let me have a scary character. Let me have a cool young fly, like swaggy guy with dreadlocks in the video. Let me do that, and let me wake up into a dream of like, oh my goodness, I just walked into this house. Where am I? I'm back in 2015, and I'm experiencing all of this again, but in an artistic way where people are going crazy, and I'm going through the lyrics, but you'll see as the storyline goes, every single character of these people that I've added to the video pops up, and it kind of highlights the different characters that I speak of. So I definitely wanted it to be arty. Like a lot of people watch it, they're like, because I'm editing, so some people saw it, they're like, oh, this is creepy. Some people are like, oh, this is creative. Oh, this is cool. So I love the fact that it evokes so many different emotions. But I think as we shot, because I had this plan, but as we shot and as we went, it kept coming to life, and I was like, okay, let me add this, or let me add this. And that's the same thing with like when you edit, right? When you edit, you're like, oh, let me use this rather, or let me put this in. So I think with the music video, until I'm done with it, it's not going to be fully like, I wouldn't have fathomed the full story yet, because yes, I have the guideline and I know what my synopsis is, but creatively, I'm still bringing it to life as I'm editing.